Welcome to this assembly tutorial of the Hemnes shoe cabinet, and here's a quick overview. These are the parts and this is the end goal. Here are the major steps in assembling this shoe cabinet. First is to put together the two side walls. Second is to attach the fittings. Third is to join together the two side walls using the rails and supports. Fourth is to install the top part. Lastly, to assemble the shoe compartments and the small drawer. Okay, let's start with the assembly. Here are the contents of box 1. Notice that they are already pre-drilled with the holes to guide you where a particular part will be attached. And these are the content of the plastic bag with the fittings and small parts. I highly recommend that you sort them out so that it will be easier for you to get what you need during the assembly. Let us start with the steps 1 to 3, which will be joining these two parts here for the side wall. Drilled holes are meant for different parts, so make sure you double check and follow the diagram. Here you can see I am placing the cam screws, wooden dowels, and the cam locks near their designated holes. And step 1 will be to screw in all the 4 cam screws, and followed by putting in the 4 pieces of wooden dowels, and once finished, you can attach the parts to form the base structure of the side wall. Use the cam locks to secure the two parts together. Make sure to use the proper cam lock as indicated in the diagram. Take note that cam lock will have a small arrow. Align it pointing towards where the head of the cam screw is and push it inside. And using a screwdriver, turn it clockwise to tighten and lock them together. Next step is to attach these small pieces of wood as part of outside molding using the Allen screws. And use the short arm Allen wrench that is provided. Actually, I had a hard time using that one, so maybe you will experience as well. The wrench keeps on falling and hard to hold because it's too small. So I would suggest that if you have a longer armed Allen wrench, better use them. After the small piece of wood, attach the longer piece of molding. I had a hard time letting the screw to dig in, so what I did was this. Let the screw to have the initial bite on the wood and let it dig for a bit, and unscrew again to make an initial thread impression on the hole. Next step is to attach this plastic shoe cabinet hinge using the appropriate screw. Make sure not to use the screws on small plastic because those are meant for the drawer runners. Next to attach are these plastic stoppers, and afterwards screw in the drawer runners using the screws inside the plastic. For the next step, attach the cam screws on the designated holes and refer to the diagram as to where they should go. If you haven't opened yet the second box, it will be now time to open it to get the parts in order to proceed to the next step, which is to attach the rails and supports needed to join the two side walls together. Some things to take note in here. There will be 4 pieces of these identical looking railings. One will be for the top, one for the bottom, and 2 in between. The 2 rails which the holes are in the center will be for the middle rails. And the other 2 will be for the top and the bottom, which there's something you have to pay attention again. One will have another hole along its smaller width, while the other doesn't. So the one with the hole is to be used as the top rail because those holes are meant for the screws to connect the top part, as you can see in here. The orientation of the hole should be taken into consideration as well. Each side have different size of holes. The bigger one with a groove should be facing downwards. That groove is where the head of the bolt will sit when you connect the top. And the smaller hole should be facing upwards. So let's put in the top rail. Insert first the wooden dowel on its designated hole at the end of the rail. After that, connect it to one of the side walls you will be working with and use the right cam lock to secure it in place. Double check that the cam lock hole should be facing towards the inside and not right along the edge, as you can see in here. Proceed with the next step of attaching the remaining rails, inserting first the wooden dowels, and to attach to the sidewall, use the cam lock to secure them in place. Same procedure as well to connect the wider rails at the back. Dowel, attach, and cam lock. Use the proper cam lock. Now it is time to connect the two side walls. Insert first wooden dowels on the other end of the rails and carefully top the other side by aligning the cam screws and wooden dowels on the proper holes. Once already properly seated, lock them using the cam locks. Next step is to prepare to attach the top part. Screw in the cam screws on the top panel and insert the wooden dowels on the frame's top holes designated for the dowel. You will have to lie down the frame flat so that you can attach the top. Same procedure, match the holes to the cam screws and dowels, and once properly seated, lock it up with the cam locks. After that, drive in the screw to secure them firmly. Once tight enough, proceed to the next step of attaching the rubber feet, and now you will have your base frame ready and you can stand it up. Next step is to secure it in the wall using the provided screws. But I skipped this part. But it is very important to do it for safety purposes. And I will be doing it sooner because our baby will soon become a toddler and it will be dangerous if it's not attached to the wall. Now time to assemble the shoe compartment and the small drawer. Put together the plastic parts which will be the one to hold the shoes. Follow the diagram and it is quite easy to follow and you will be guided by the holes. And then attach it to the wood which will be the front face of the compartment. Match the holes for the tiny plastic dowel and push them into place. and use the screws to secure the compartment to the front wood panel. And attach the handles. Next is to assemble the small drawer. Begin by attaching the 4 cam screws that will attach the sides of the drawer to the front panel. Then insert the sides of the drawer and lock it in place using the cam locks. After that, slide in the bottom of the drawer to the groove of the front panel and hold it in place using the groove of the back part of the drawer. Secure the back part of the drawer to the 2 sides by using the plastic screw nails. Once done, attach the drawer sliders using the provided screws, and again, let the holes guide you. Afterwards, attach the handles as well. And finally, insert the drawer and the shoe compartments, and you have your shoe cabinet. I hope this video helps in one way or another, and good luck with your assembling. Thank you for watching.